In this video, I will show you how to hold and maneuver your scythe. These tips will help you to become a better scythe mower and make it more enjoyable. When you get the basic movements right, it's time to add the scythe. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I suggest you to watch this video first, where I go through the basic techniques in scything, which will help you to become a better scythe mower. And then come back to this video. We'll wait. Before we start, make sure you have a snath adapted to your length and that the handles are correctly placed. Also make sure that the lay of the blade is angled slightly upwards. I have a video where I go through all these adjustments. I'll link to it in the cards and in the description below. Practice on gravel if you can. That way you can see that the cutting edge doesn't hit the stones as it glides across, if the lay of the blade is right. You will also be able to hear if you are doing this right. I'll get back to that later. But don't be afraid of scratching the belly of the blade. Create a line in front of you in the gravel. If you don't have gravel, try to use tarmac or concrete, and then you need to draw a line. We will use this line as a guide, standing with our toes just behind it. Quick recap of the basic movements. The Tai Chi position, move from side to side, keep the spine straight, and when you add the arms, let the hip throw out your arms where you need to have them, so you get the power from your core. Okay, so now it's time to add the scythe. Rule number 1, keep the blade on the ground. Start with your tip on your line to the right, come all the way through until the tip is on the line to your left. The stroke can be divided into 3 parts: a catch, drag and drop. The catch is the accelerating phase, where you catch the grass by moving the blade straight forward into the grass. Press the blade a little bit down with your lower handle and make sure the pressure is on the inner half of the blade. As you move the scythe across, try to keep the snath close to your body. And imagine dragging it from side to side rather than rotate it. Roll the blade over slightly in the stroke, so that when you have the blade in front of you, the pressure is in the middle of the blade, always keeping the pressure on the blade. At the end of the stroke, the tip is on the other side of the line. This is where you drop off the grass that you just cut. And the pressure is now rolled over on the tip, with the heel a little bit raised. To get back to the next stroke, you relax your hands and just let the tip glide on the ground with the heel still raised, in position for the next stroke. Here you can see as I use the basic movements in the stroke. Shift the weight, keeping my feet on the ground, bend my knees, pull back the left arm with my hip with a pointy elbow. I use the ass to grass. Keep the snath close to your body so you can have the spine straight. Move it tight around your left hip. Keeping the snath close to you will let you have better control and use your core better. You should be able to see how your stroke is creating the shape of a new mown in front of you. This is exactly what you should aim for when you are mowing grass. For some people, it helps to imagine creating the shape of a Nike swoosh or a scythe blade to get rid of a stiff rotation. It's okay to start and stop a little bit behind the line, but don't do the mistake and go back too far. And do not rush to get speed on the start of the stroke. Rather feel that the blade should stand still for a while here, while shifting rotation in the body. Before you catch the grass, you start to push off with your right foot and draw back with the hip, like this. Oh, whoosh, oh, whoosh. This will make you feel a little bit like weightless in this position. If you have an Austrian snath, the way to roll over the blade is to slightly angle the wrists downward throughout the stroke. If you have a Nordic snath, which is my own design, you angle the blade by using the whole underarm, which is much more easier for the wrists. If you want to buy a Nordic snath, there is a link in the description. It's the best snath. When you're doing this on a hard surface, you will be able to hear if you're doing it right. Remember rule number 1, keep the blade to the ground. If you're doing it right, the gravel will tell you by making this lovely scraping sound. Another perk of starting on gravel is that after this you won't be afraid of having the blade on the ground. Keeping the blade on the ground will help you be in more control over the blade, cut closer to the ground and more evenly. Remember that the ground is your friend and guide throughout the stroke. It's there to lead the blade in the grass. 3 common mistakes that I see people do here. Number 1, leaning too much forward. Very easy when you get the scythe in your hand to start to grab too much grass and then you lean. So what happens is that you can't use the core and you lose control over the blade and strength, and you also lower the lay so it touches the stones much more easy. So just remember to try to come close so you can stand with a straight spine. Number 2, not pulling your snath back, but ending up here instead with stretched outer arms and the leaning body. This will also make you just be not in control of the blade and don't have any strength here, like this. And mistake number 3 is being too stiff and get lost in too much of a rotation, like this. Instead, remember what I said before, feel this weightlessness and try to start the stroke with pulling back your hip and your elbow before the stroke comes, like this. Oh. In this way, you will be much more effective with the scythe. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. Again, filming yourself and comparing with this video is a great way to see what you're doing right and what you might need to work on. The next step is to master the art of mowing the lawn with short grass. I will show you in the next video.